A very warm welcome to everyone present today. It's a pleasure to have you all join us for this insightful and forward looking Agile Masterclass. Organized by the Center for Distance and Online Education, Lovely Professional University. I am Manu Sharma and I will be your host today for the session at CDOE. A constant endeavor is to bring industry and academia closer, empowering students with knowledge that is both relevant and transformative. Today's masterclass is a significant step in that direction. We are all aware that the world of today is evolving at an unprecedented pace. With it, the demand for the professionals who can adapt, innovate, and lead in dynamic environments, one of the most powerful methodologies enabling this transformation is Agile, a mindset embraced by leading global organizations and startups alike. This session has been thoughtfully created to introduce you to the world of Agile, help you explore its real world applications, and discover how you can leverage it to build a high impact and high growth career right from college. So, we are delighted to welcome Mr. Kewal Krishna Kapoor, a distinguished agile transformation consultant and proud alumnus of Lovely Professional University, MCA Batch 2011, as the resource person for this transformative masterclass. He has more than 15 years of global industry experience. Mr. Kapoor has worked extensively across IT, banking, consulting, and product development sectors. He holds multiple prestigious certifications, including SPC, ICP ENT, ICP, ACC, SASM, and SPA, and whatnot, and has successfully led agile transformation for high performing teams worldwide. Renowned for consulting impactful workshops, mentoring professionals into high growth agile roles, Mr. Kapoor is on a mission to integrate agile thinking into education, making students not only industry ready, but industry leading. So, if talk about the masterclass, today's masterclass, Agile Unlocked, Mastering the Fundamentals. Before I talk about more of this um, masterclass, how many of you, the students who have joined with us, knows about Agile? Quickly tell me in the chat box. I'm waiting for your responses. How many of you knows about Agile? Okay. Sudarshan says yes. So Sudarshan, what you know about Agile? I'm asking that. No idea. Okay. I was having this idea that maximum of the students won't be having the idea about the agile. So yes, that's why we have this masterclass today for you all, where you will be understanding what exactly is this masterclass for. Okay. So deep down regarding the masterclass, it is going to be a great opening for you. This is going to be a kind of bridge which is going to be bridging up the gap between the academic learning and industry demands. It is going to aim to equip students with essential knowledge and tools to thrive in agile-centric work environments. So to know about what you're going to learn about from this masterclass, first of all, you will understand the fundamentals of agile and why it is preferred methodology for 71% of organization worldwide. Learn about high demand agile roles, how the students can apply for directly after graduation. You will be discovering how agile knowledge can increase starting salaries by up to 50%. You can also explore from this masterclass the real world scenarios, case studies comparing agile and traditional approaches, including how high tech giants like Google, Amazon, Tesla will apply the agile practices. You will get the insights into globally recognized agile certification, CSM, PSM, PMI, ACP, and how they are significantly enhance your job prospects. In the last, you will be having the opportunity to participate in the live question and answer to receive the direct guidance from the expert on career progression, certification, and leveraging the agile in projects and internship. This masterclass is not just a learning session. Let me tell you about this. It's going to be a great gateway to future ready skills and a stepping stone towards a high growth agile career. Whether you are planning your first internship or aspiring for global opportunities, this session will reshape how you approach learning, projects, and job market. So, without further ado, let's dive into this exciting learning experience. And I'll start with a one question. You can see that in your poll and do answer with that question, please. So you can see in on your screen what's the vibe of the agile. Choose up your answers quickly. You can choose from the poll. Are you super serious, rigid plans only? Do you feel that the vibe of agile is like that? Or do you feel it is chaotic, teamwork with no rules? Do you feel it's flexible, fast, and team first? Or do you feel it is just wing it? Okay. Maximum of have answered the C, flexible, fast, and team first. Very good. Thank you so much. So now, without any delay, I would like to invite Mr. Kewal Krishn Kapoor to take over the stage and start the session.
All right. Thank you, Manu. Hi, everyone. Very good evening. I'm hoping that everyone is from India location, right? So if someone is out of India, someone is joining as well, good morning and good afternoon as well to you guys. Hope you guys can hear me and quickly, without delaying much. And Manu already talked about my accomplishment and my experience as well. So I'll skip that slide deck. Let me share my slide and get started. Okay. And in between, anyone have any query, just feel free to put a comment in the chat box. Definitely help you to try it and answer it at the end. Okay. Just allow me a second. All right. Manu, can you confirm that you are able to see that full screen for the deck? Or if someone is already able to just comment it. Okay, we are receiving a comment. Thank you for confirming. All right. So today we're going to talk about that, what kind of opportunities in career if we'll talk about Agile. If many of you didn't heard about it, what Agile is, why it is important right now, why every other organization is looking into it, right? So we'll talk about it in detail and talk about some of the case studies as well. Okay. That it will help you to decide that these roles, these additional opportunities which comes out from the organizations are important as well. Okay. So this is about me. I know someone asked me about the full, form for these certifications. So let me uh, quickly go to that as well. So SPC, if talk about the certification, is Safe Program Consultant. Okay, so I'll describe it more at the end that okay, what safe is if already know that okay, now we are hearing the term agile and now how the new terms come up right away, which is safe, right? So safe is nothing, it is a full form, safe scaled agile framework, right? So it is used in the bigger organization like Google, Amazon, right? So those are the big organizations which are using safe inside that. So I'm SPC certified. I'm, officially train people from scale body, right? So that's what the SPC stand for. ICP-ENT is a coaching certification where I'll, be available and coach people out, coach different, uh, organization, different schools, different education sectors out. So I'm officially available for that as well. Experience I'm holding 15 years, that already explained. So I'm skipping all of the detail which Manu already explained it. Okay. Why this masterclass? Okay. So first one is the industry adoption. Right now, if we'll talk about that 70% overall global organization worldwide is adopting agile right now. Okay. So that itself means that whether it is a new startup, if you heard about a new, which consumes 50 plus or 100 plus, uh, you know, teammates or team members inside that, they are adopting agile. Why agile? Because every other organization is working for a client and client is demanding that just after the COVID hit, right? So everyone is trying to adapt agile. Before that, it was not too popular. There are big organization, big brands as well, which are starting, adopting agile from last so many years, 15, 20 years back, right? They are following it. But right now, the stage is that everyone is working from remote location. We are not physically present at some place to work it, right? So their agile is much more important, play the vital role into that how delivery to be happen, how that to be managed. So someone I think already mentioned in the chat that okay, it is a management iterative process, right? So it is not purely management. So we'll talk about that as well. Okay. So anyone, either you are a background of computer application, either you are a background of BTech, MTech, MBA, people are starting these positions right away, even moving those roles, even on the project manager or technical lead or technical architect, they are playing that role from the for the organization from so many years, and right now they are moving into the agile career because agile has showcased that little growth as well to them. Every other organization is demanding that. Every other organization is moving from X traditional model to the new model. So I'll explain that as well, okay, in the next slides. Career advantage, yes, definitely, because companies are asking for those agile experts, right? So our mission is that if somehow we'll place agile somewhere in the education sector itself, that whatever the students comes out from the degree, from the course, whatever you are taking at, you already experience somewhere agile within the education system, then it will be an open platform for the other organization as well to check it out and to hire them quickly right away from the college, right, from the universities. Instead, they are looking for the some expert who are already changing or thought of their changing career, right? So we are just on the mission that okay, if some of the universities are already having those certificates, certifications, or expertise available within the course, definitely that open up the other opportunities for the organization. Okay, that's the idea. Better prospect, definitely, which comes out to the directly proportion to the career advantage that you'll get the better job opportunities as well. Okay, I'll go to the next one. So Manu, I'll request to you if in the chat box, I'm just skipping it. If you see that there is an important questions comes out, which is specific to the slide deck, just do let me know. I'll try to answer it. Okay.
Sure, sir.
All right. What is agile? That is, many of don't know and this term or, first time you heard it, the term agile. So agile is a particular, if we'll talk about it as a mindset. Okay. So that is why even we are hitting the education sector. I am just giving, the example you already heard SDLC from so many years, right? Software development life cycle. I know that you heard that term somewhere in your curriculum, somewhere down the line, your graduation as well, right? So it's, in terms of SDLC, if you already heard that term, you already heard the term of waterfall as well, right? So that was named as a traditional approach. Okay. So this agile is changing that, the existing way of working, right? And it will bring more flexibility in approaching to the client. That's why it is mentioned that, okay, flexible approach is the one important thing that which defines agile. Key focus is on iteration, collaboration, continuous improvement, right? So it is not that if we are working on something, whatever or whichever the organization you'll be working on, let's suppose you are working on with Amazon, right? And you are working on some other project. So definitely you'll get something from your manager, you have to work this, there's some requirement coming out from the client, then only you are working, right? So the key focus is that how quickly we're reaching out to them, how quickly we are improving our system, right? How much we are collaborating with the client, because that's what I talked about as well, that everyone is working from remote location, right? So even bigger organization, have many set of employees who are located in different set of locations. Just after COVID, many of them are working in, they're from their hometown, and organization are allowing them as well, correct? So how to interact, how to be collaborative. So that's, Agile brings up certain methods, certain ways, so that we'll be connected, we'll see how productive we can be, and how we'll, achieve as in target as in team. Instead, we are not sitting together, we are not working together, but still we are collaborating. Okay. So that's the key focus. Framework, that's what I, named as in certification as well. SAFe, I named it, right? SPC, which defined as in safe program consultant. So framework, which are, these are not the only framework. These are the framework which are popular one in Agile. Okay. So which named as in Scrum, Kanban, Safe. Okay. So there are many of it, less Scrum Ban. Okay. So I think there are 15 or 16 frameworks in total. So these are the most popular one, which, every out of 71, if I'll take an average, above 50% of the organization are following this. Okay. So we are just targeting that the majority of the organization who are following these frameworks. Okay. Benefit, faster value delivery with higher quality. Faster value delivery means that whenever I'm building a solution for any of the client, for any of the project, I'm reaching out to the client, to my manager really quickly to check it out that it should be a build of higher quality. So we'll bring up more detailed insights that, okay, when we are talking about the benefit, how it is benefiting the organization, how it is working. So that's a kind of deep dive into agile. Okay. So we'll talk about that as well. I'll move ahead. Okay. Next slide says the shift from traditional approach, traditional system to the new agile. Okay. What are the reasons why we are moving even? There are many organizations which I see in 2016, 17, just before the COVID, right? 2, 3 years back, there's a high demand, demand coming up from the UK, US, Europe countries that, okay, there are many big organizations, big companies who are working with Agile from so many years. And on the competition level, client is asking, okay, I just need or this project, and who will buy it, because every other, let's suppose there is a project or there's a requirement coming out from the client, right? So there are multiple vendors who are actually, bidding that project, if you didn't know that fact. Okay. So I'm just giving some highlight from some live examples as well to you. So how that system works, let's suppose I am a customer, I need a system for the AI. Okay. So I need a system with the AI who will talk, who will, sit and be as an, kind of customer interactive system. Let's suppose I don't want to hire a team for the call system. I just want to build up IVR system right away, right? So I just need that system to be designed, architect, and implemented. Okay. So this is my requirement. So to fulfill that requirement, there are multiple vendors out. Vendors means there are multiple organizations who are fulfilling that. Let's suppose there is a Tata, right? TCS, Mahindra comes up. There is Amazon, there is a Google, right? So how, if I am a client, there are multiple vendor who are giving, so we are bidding that. Bidding means they're pricing. Okay. So I'll just as a customer thinking, okay, I just need my system to be built in agile manner so that I'll be see how things are working, how it should be approached. Okay. I just need a quick review, quick check on those systems. So first requirement for me, who is agile centric. Okay. So half of might be filtered out from those vendors. Google says, okay, we are agile centrics. We have agile teams. We are following agile. We are in, right? And this is much of cost it is. So based on the comparison, based on the different vendors list, I'll shortlist some of it and give that project to you. Okay. So this is how it works for the organization. Then that hiring gonna start. Okay. From the client requirement to the organization, and organization jump to the different universities, colleges for hiring that. Whenever they have a budget, then only there is a need and they'll hiring it. Okay. So it is not that they are just hiring it for nothing, because they know that there is some project coming down the line. They have a budget is passed from the client, they have that money, this much of budget they have. Okay, let's hire few team members from people or from the different organization, from the colleges pass out, from the universities. Okay, so this is how it goes. That's why the shift is happening. So I'm hoping you guys are understanding now a little bit why we are moving from waterfall to agile, because there is a need. A need, who is needing that? Client is needing that. Client is asking that. Okay. So after watching it out, every organization feel okay. We have to be agile. We have to, come up with a solution. We have to leave that traditional system. We have to move over. Okay. So that's what that this few parameters says that okay, if we'll talk about the waterfall model, which is traditional one, on the planning, it is a fixed planning, right? Fixed means waterfall you already heard about. There is a requirement section, right? First you have to analyze all those requirements before building up the design. Okay. But Agile doesn't talk about that. Agile says if you even didn't know have a full clarity on the requirement, that is okay, fine. I can start building up whatever things coming on your mind and showcase that to you in a quarter or a month or 2 months of time. And then you have to analyze it. Okay, what else you need? Do you need some improvement? Do you need some add-ons into that, right? So it is an iterative approach. That's why it says that okay, continuous planning is happening in the agile and it is flexible. Okay. Within the span of time, you can change the requirement. But traditional system doesn't allow to change the requirement within that duration of time. Because if you change the requirement within the duration, that goes back, because there is a requirement team sitting out there is a design team, and there is a development team. Okay. And if in the development phase, client is changing or asking for change, then waterfall fails in that. How it fails? It need additional amount of time because it move back to requirement phase. Moving back to requirement phase means that it need another approval from the client that okay, this much of additional effort, this much of additional cost it require, and then go to design, redesign system, and then goes to development. But agile doesn't work in like that. Okay, agile allows I am flexible enough. If you are even changing within the duration, okay, let's sit together, analyze your requirement right away, pre-prioritize all those work, and let's change it. Okay. So it is a quick approach. Execution, it is a sequential. It should be in the order as the STLC says. Okay, requirement, waterfall, you already heard that. Requirement, design, development, testing, deployment, maintenance. Okay. So this is a traditional approach of waterfall. So it is a sequential. You can't skip any of the phase. If you are in the testing, if something fails, it goes back to the development. If it impact the design, it goes back to the design. But if something comes out, okay, there is something wrong in the requirement, it goes back to the requirement again and redesign and redevelopment and retesting, right? So this is how it works. But agile is iterative one. Okay. Feedback in traditional, it is a late stage, but feedback is early ongoing means that if I'm developing something, I'll reach out to my client as quickly as possible. Let's suppose I'm building one website for you for the hotel management, right? And I don't want to build the complete system. Might be I'll just giving 4 menus out there and asking my client, okay, just try run those 4 menus which I build up. Or do you feel that are those working? If says, okay, I'm completely fine, but I just need some redesigning. I didn't like that option. Just can you change it? So that says an iterative approach, right? So I'll quickly take the feedback, adjust that, again redevelop, redesign that, and test it. Okay. So this is how agile works. So we don't have to build the complete whole system at all in the very first stage. We'll just completing small and small things and reaching out to client as quickly as possible. Okay. Adaptable Adaptability in waterfall is low, and but in agile it is high, just because of those reasons which I explained. Okay. Speed to market in traditional, if it is a long duration project in the traditional method, might be I just need 2 years, which I show the example and tell the example as well. That okay, I just need that IVR system to be built up for me. Okay. So it is a big requirement. So in traditional model, if I'll go to that approach, it is slow. Might be after 2 year, I'll say, okay, I just need complete 2 year to develop it and give that to you. So that's what traditional system does. Okay. But in new approach, as every organization, even TCS, Tech Mahindra, Amazon, Google, they are moving to agile right now. Okay. So they are saying, okay, we have to move to the market as quickly as possible. We don't have to build the complete system right away from very first day. What we'll try to build, we'll build small piece of features, we'll give that to client and showcase, okay, this how it look like, and they also feel confident. Okay, I'm paying for it, I'm getting something as well. I don't need to wait for a 2 year or 1 year even after looking at the system, right? So after 2 weeks or after 4 weeks of duration, whatever my team is building, they are demoing, they are showcasing me, okay, this is how it look like. Okay. And which brings up the speed to market isn't fast, because if I need a change in that system, I'll speak it right away and I'll just ask for the change. Okay. I don't need a year or 2 year and then see, okay, I don't think this option will work out. Can you change it? Okay. So even after 2 year might be that option doesn't require. All right. So that's why it is speed to market. In traditional, it is slow, and in agile, it is fast. I know that it is in agile, if I'm talking about different things, might be it is, I just want to check it out. Like, okay, the speed is okay, or do I need to be slowed down? Because this is just the basic one which I'm touching, like, okay. So just to comment in chat, are you feeling okay with that speed, or do I need to slow down a bit?
Students,
Yes.
you can drop up your reply in the chat box, please. Okay. They are comfortable.
All right.
Bora Singh.
Thanks. All right. Thank you. Let's move ahead. So now we'll talk about the core principles of Agile. Okay. So the first one is the customer collaboration. Customer collaboration itself means it is self-explanatory, right? I don't have to explain it, what that customer collaboration, because that is the main core principle of Agile. Because for us, definitely for every other organization, customer, we are treating customers in God. We are treating, okay, because customer is paying for something, that's why we are working, right? Every other organization which you named it, which you heard it in your life, is working for customer. Okay. If there is no customer, there is no client need, no other organization is building something. Okay. So that's why the core principle first says customer collaboration is must over contract negotiation. The second point, the lower down, says the traditional one. Traditional ones means where we are negotiating the contract, but here we are not, dealing that as in first priority. For first priority for agile is, let's take about think about the customer, try to collaborate as quickly as possible with them, try to reach out to them so that they will feel happy, they will feel satisfied that okay, some team, someone is working for me. If I'm paying a penny for it, okay, some other team, some people out there who are working for me, all right, they're building something because I know my system and I can watch it out. Okay. But it's not like that you can't reach out to customer for a year, and whatever you're building at the end, customer says, okay, I don't need it. I change my mind because might be I'm late to the market, and let's drop. Okay. So even if even the customer is thinking about that in agile term, in agile way of working, that might be quickly known, right? So even after a 2 week or month time period, client is say, okay, let's drop that requirement because I changed my mind, let's work on something else. So it is not that too, you know it is not that cost effective. the waterfall, but agile is too cost effective for them. Okay. They're responding to change over following a plan. So we are not following any plan out there. Okay. So it is not that whatever it is written somewhere, let's try to follow the guide, the step-by-step guide. Okay. Responding to change means that, okay, we are okay if you're asking for me to change something in a mid. Let's suppose, just take an example of website development. You're building something, okay? You're doing some payment gateway implementation in the website, right? And you are using some Mastercard, some Visa card APIs between that. And if you are interacting with Mastercard, definitely it is paying more. If you are interacting with RuPay, it is not that much of pay. You have to, it is cheaper than the Mastercard, right? And if you are changing any other, if you're using any other payment gateway, you have to take a call, right? So responding to change means that if I got the requirement, okay, it doesn't matter what platform, what other payment gateway you're using, let's try to implement it. But if I'll showcase right away to you as a client that, okay, this payment gateway, I'm using it, are you gonna pay the cost for it? This much of costing it should be required if you're using Mastercard, this much of costing it required if you're using the other platform. So I'm just reaching out to client for the approval. And as per the client demand, okay, let's go for this model, change it. So are you getting that what I'm saying? So I'm just giving, one example to you guys. If you already know that the hotel management website, if someone is from not that technical one, I'll change my examples. Okay. Just do let me know if there is change in the, examples you need. So responding to change, I am quickly adaptable. I can change within my development cycle. I am okay. Uh, Even if I build something, let's suppose I am building one feature out there and client says after a week, I don't need that. Okay. So what do you feel about it? It doesn't matter because you are just spending a week and deciding, okay, that feature might be not required anymore. Okay. But what about in the waterfall? You spend 6 months and developing a feature, and at the end, client says, "Okay, this might doesn't look good for me. Let's drop that." Okay, so that is something not a cost-effective one, right? So even after a week, if you're decided that, you will quickly responding, right? Whatever the change client is asking for. That's why we are responding and Agile is responding to change. Working software over comprehensive documentation. Working software is more important, and instead we are detailing and documentation everything out. Like if you heard about that traditional system, the lots of documents. So we are not saying that Agile doesn't allow the documentation. Okay. So don't misinterpret that. In Agile itself, we are creating a documentation, but working software is more important than the documentation. Working software means that after a span of time, whatever I'm building, I should be responsible that it should be working one. If you heard that term continuous improvement and CI/CD pipeline out there anywhere down there in your course curriculum, right? Then you can correlate that. Even CI/CD pipeline says, okay, there is a continuous integration, there is a continuous deployment. That itself means that if I am continuous deploying something, I am building a feature, I am deploying that right away. Let's suppose out of 20 or 25 features out there which client wants, one by one, whenever I am developing a feature, I am giving to the client to test it for the UAT, for the user acceptance testing, right? So that's a kind of, I should be responsible to deliver my software to be a working state, right? So after every span of time, after every 2, 4 weeks, whatever the duration of a Scrum says, okay, we'll come to that as well. We should be, responsible that the software, whichever we are building, that should be in working condition right away from very first few weeks. Okay. Individuals and interaction over processes and tools. So the fourth more important core principle of Agile says that we should be interactive enough. Individuals and interaction means that as an individual we should be responsible for our delivery. Okay. So as an team, as an it is agile team or scrum team, you even heard these terms out there in the next slides. Okay, so whenever we are building or working as a team all together, Agile says the team doesn't have any leader. Okay, so now you shout, okay, if there is no leader, how we can work as a team? Okay, we are not saying that there are no senior people in the team. Okay, we are saying no one can act as a leader and ask you that, okay, there are 10 members out there. Okay, I'll just name Rohit, Shubham, right? So there is a person named as in Rohit. Okay, I'm as in senior one says, Rohit, you have to do this work for the next 2 weeks. Shubham, you have to work these two things for next 2 weeks. This is something Agile says, okay, let's not do that. As in team altogether decide as an individual what thing I have to pick. So let's suppose there are 10 things available right away on somewhere on the board. I have to decide as in along with the team, okay, I'll be working on this one because I am checking it. This is a priority task and that should be wrapped up first. Second person says, okay, the first person already talked about the first one. Let me pick this one. So every individual is responsible for choosing their own task from the board and trying to complete that and always interact with each other that okay these things will working as a team, let's try to achieve it. Okay, so no one is actually assigning the work to any of the individual. Okay, but the traditional system doesn't work like that. That's why the idea of even bringing agile in the education sector so that from the college pass out, from whenever you're doing your degree, right, your master, you're going to the bachelor degree or the master degree, you should be aware because whichever the organization you'll be going to join in the next couple of years, because that percentage which is 71% for now, but in next 2 3 years that's gonna be above 90% for sure. Okay, because every organization, every client is asking for agile transformation. So whenever the new people who know agile very much, at least they can teach people which organization they're gonna join, and this is how agile should be working, right? So no one even can pressurize you, no one even can be a manager head, no one can micromanage you. Okay, so you should know, okay, this is the priority, this is the customer need, let me work on this. So you should have a full clarity. You should not be rely on your manager work or your manager words. You should know what my customer need, what my system need. Okay, this is the thing which I need to build out. What is the use of it? What kind of feature it is, right? Okay, let me work on this one because I feel this is a priority one. Might be someone will correct you, but no one can say that, okay, no, 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 this you can't work it, you have to work on this. Okay, did you get that? So this is the changing kind of, you know, big change in the organization, which many organization are demanding that and changing that. But just feel that in the organization, let's suppose a person who is working from last 30 years, all right? Just imagine that. They already eaten all that management tools, okay? They did lots of certification in the old management framework, okay? So it is very hard for the organization to adapt him. So let's suppose that's why even the new positions which are specific to agile are introduced and they are hiring for it because they just want the old system to be carry on and move over, right? And their mindset should be agile. They have to convert it, and they don't have to micromanage those people out there, those team out, because this is not the new way of working. Now the new generation which comes out doesn't work like that. Okay. So that's why the new organization, the old organization are looking for specific roles which are specific to agile. Okay, we'll talk about those new roles as well, those new opportunities as well in the next deck. Okay. Till now, any other questions which are important one which I have to answer it? Or
From where the way I have understood, I would like to check the students' knowledge. So I would like to share a poll as well.
sure.
Am I allowed?
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
So, which of these isn't a agile framework? How many of you can remember sir has mentioned certain names very prominently? Okay, very good, very nice. Let me see your knowledge. Good. So, first is Scrum, second is Netflix and chill, which is just see some options are just for a fun, but I just want to check how many of you remember certain terminologies that sir has mentioned regarding agile. So, which of these isn't an agile framework? Kanban, SAFe, SAFE. Okay, let's end the poll.
All right.
And maximum of have answered wrong answer. And sorry, isn't. Sorry, it was isn't a agile. Yes, Netflix and chill. Very good. Well, so I have another question for you. Let me see how many of you have remember certain other things as well. So we talked about, sir has talked about the companies as well that who are working on preparing the people for agile. So which company is widely known for using agile at scale? First, Blockbuster, second, Google, Nokia, or Kodak. So I see that people, all the students are paying good attention. Very good. So I would like to share the answers. Definitely, it's a Google. Very good. So let's get back to the masterclass.
All right. Thanks, Manu.
Thank you, sir.
All right. The next says that how agile enhances career prospects. Okay. So this is another, good opportunity out there as well, which says that the salary boost of the entry level agile professional earns. Let's suppose, I'll give the live best examples because I am attracting many of them through LinkedIn as well, who just want to change their career from the software testing or from the software engineer to the agile one because they are bored enough. Now, Chat GPT comes down the line who did all the coding work for them, right? Now, even the organization are a little smarter than that, okay? So they are even adapting OpenAI into the system so that, we just have to think more on the, even instead of writing a code, let's think about more on how we optimize it. Okay. So I'll not deep dive into that, but just in highlight. Okay. So 30% is salary boost, whatever you are earning, or the software engineer who already hired in the organization, okay, whatever they are earning. So if anyone did additional benefit on having that agile certification, that is an additional boost for them as in 30%. Okay. This is an figure comes out from Google even. Okay. So that is an average 30% hike. Everyone is getting in salary boost if you already done some certification in the agile. 5 lakh is a certification value annual in salary increase with the agile certification. So if we'll talk about the numbers, that is an approximate 5 lakhs increase. Okay. So 30 lakhs is the maximum top earning for a Scrum Master. For the initial entry level, if I'll say entry level role, which the organization is asking for, that is named as a Scrum Master. Okay. So that is new terms might be no one, many of didn't hear it at all what Scrum Master says. So like a software engineer, right? So they introduce new designations which are specific to Agile. Okay. So there are Scrum Masters, there are business analysts, there are product owners, there are Agile coaches, there are release team engineers. Okay. So there are many of it. Okay. So these new terms introduced by certain bodies who are, certifying people, who are agile certified, who are scale frameworks. So there are very big organizations who are adopting many of the big organizations to agile. Okay. So they introduce these certification, these new roles, which even client is demanding for. Let's suppose client is reaching out to organization and they specifically ask to client, I need a scrum master for my project. So whenever there is a need, the client or the organization, whosoever is working with that client, have to hire a scrum master. Otherwise, they can't survive. Even the vendor doesn't got and pass out. Okay. Whenever they are bidding it, they are showcasing that, okay, we as a team have a scrum master who did some certification in agile, right? So that is an ask even from the client. That's why those new roles, even in the LinkedIn, go onto the LinkedIn, try to search out job opening, try to search out the Scrum Masters. There are many new roles. Check the average salary, what they're asking, what they're giving. Okay. And there are many other locations, many big organizations who are even asking for. Doesn't matter that organization is from banking, that organization is from healthcare, whatever the organization named it, they are asking for these roles. Okay. Because that particular role doesn't require any specific technical skills. That doesn't require any C sharp .NET skill. That require, we can't say that it is a complete management, right? But that requires some or the other way the agile complete knowledge, how I should be leading my team. How should I ensure that, okay, whatever my client is asking, I should be able to deliver as a team. Okay. I should be ensuring that, okay, my team should be working without any risk, without any, impediments, without any blocker. Okay, that's something few of the core responsibility of a scrum master as well. Okay, we'll talk about that. Career roles. I don't know whether every other students who is targeting from the computer application or not, but it is not specific to MCA graduates, right? Even the MBA graduates are having those roles out. Okay. So those roles introduced as in junior scrum master, agile business analyst, junior product owner, agile developer, agile QA engineer. So those are comes out from the college pass out directly. Okay. So it is not that, we hiring for some, professional experienced people. So these new roles introduced from the organization. Okay. So even we'll talk about the junior scrum masters. That's what I said, that try to search in the LinkedIn, go to the LinkedIn profile, try to search as Scrum Master, check out what they're asking and how much experience they are wanting and how much they are paying it. Even for 3 to 4 year or who is working as an agile, who know agile better, they are even giving 30 plus package out there. Okay. So that is an initial one. Even smaller organization are paying that. We are not talking about the Amazon and Google. Those are definitely paying higher. Okay. We are talking about the small organization who are just new startups, the new organization who are not big enough, who are might be having 1,000 or 2,000 employees in it. Even they are paying 30 lakhs or 25 lakhs to a Scrum Master. Okay. That is the reason, because there is an ask from the client specific to these roles. They want that, right? So there are some, case studies as well for Agile in action by Microsoft, how it should be working. So I don't know whether time allows to jump into that case studies or not, but just giving you some highlights. Even you can Google that case studies. Okay, so it is completely available in the guide. Might be just after that, I'll share those links out to Manu. She'll share that certain links to you. So you can go to that links out. Okay, just go to that case studies. Try to read that. Definitely will come up with the next session, right? We'll talk about that in detail if you have specific sort of questions that, okay, how they transformed into agile from the ex traditional approach. Okay, the Microsoft did that. They reduced the software delivery time by 40%. So that is not something that will just making it. It is a proven record available in their website, how they are reducing that delivery time just by adopting agile into the system. Okay, adopting means that every team member should be agile. They know their principles. They are following that. You know, They are working on it. They have specific roles for the agile. So this is how they reducing their delivery time. Okay. Spotify is the one which uses the agile to rapidly innovate their system. Their banking sector, who improve their customer experience with the agile. Their e-commerce giant Flipkart and Amazon, they use agile for the faster releases. Okay. So there are many of case studies. These are not the one. There are many of it. There are big organizations who are really adopted agile, how they successful from the traditional approach to moving to the new one. So that's definitely I'll share that in detail. Okay. Just go to them and we'll talk about that in detail. Now the next says, what are the steps now to enter to the agile world? So there are some certification out. There are there are certain bodies out who provide the certification, which says the CSM, Certified Scrum Master, Professional Scrum Master. Okay. So there is a IC Agile body, which is specifically talk about the integrated certified, you know, the agile terms. There are many certification inside the agile. Some are specific to the management, some are specific to the HR, some are specific to the developers, some are specific to the management people. Okay, so I'll just show you that the giant pie chart as well what IC Agile provides. Okay, there are internships, which definitely will plan out that how we'll get the hands-on experience without even jumping or working as an with the organization. How as in the course, if we are completing anything within the course, how we'll get the agile experience at all within the same curriculum, right? So this is we'll deep dive into that. Okay, while working in your internship, while working on some internal project within the universities for some other organization, how we can try to adapt agile so that we showcase as an experience in our resume. Okay, we experience it and it is how it works. We'll showcase that as an add-on while cracking any interview out. Okay, so it is an additional benefit. Definitely you'll get it. Skill development, we'll talk about different tools out which are more popular, which are just built based on to change or to transform the agile one. So most common is Zira. I don't know whether you heard it or not. So JIRA, Zira. Okay, this is the most common tool. So if you even search or Google the Zira, Zira is a big organization now. It consumes lots of developer, lots of management people out there who are just taking care of that tool itself. Because this tool is basically used by all big organizations. If you even named as in Google, if you even named as in Amazon, if you even named as an other big organization, Nokia, Samsung, all of them are using this Jira tool for managing their agile thing. Okay, how it work, what that tool is all about. When we deep dive into it, when we experience it, we'll demonstrate that tool to you guys, how it works, how we can experience, how we can use, how we can take the leverage, how it should be working, how it is useful for me. As a developer, if I want to be build as an or join as a software engineer, right? After graduating or after mastering it, right? How agile is benefiting me as a developer. Okay. So it is not only that if I'll choose that career as a Scrum Master, I feel even whichever career, whichever position you'll be gonna join the organization, you should have the knowledge of agile. Because without knowing the agile, might be it is very difficult for you to survive, right? So this is I'm talking about or talked with many of the leaders who are already working with many big organizations in LinkedIn. When we'll come out, okay, we'll go that we as in the different organization hiring student or different organization comes in the university and hire 200 people, okay, and they are giving 10 to 20 lakh of package. What about the survival? That is okay, they are hiring 10 or 20 lakh. What about when they are getting the project? No one is talking about that. Okay, so that's what the gap is. We just want to analyze, I have to survive my role, my position as well. So this brings, if you have an add-on agile expertise, which you already showcased in your interview, this is an addition add-on so that you can survive. Because whichever team, whichever project you'll be working on, talk with your seniors, talk with those who's working with the organization, talk with them, okay? Have a word with them, chat with them, check it out that whether you're using agile, they know, they heard that term, definitely they heard it, they're following it. Okay. So if as in different roles, as in software engineer, as in QA, quality testing, whichever role you're gonna join, you will gonna join a team who will follow agile. Okay. So that's what we just want that if you already experience in somewhere in your curriculum, definitely this will help in building the your career will helping the organization, whichever the organization you're going to join, because every organization just want that new people comes out. Even I'll be working as a lead agile consultant. Whenever we are hiring someone from LinkedIn, we'll take the interview. We'll make sure that okay, they know agile very well, because if they didn't know, might be they're not able to survive within the organization. Okay. So whenever even you are changing or thinking changing of your career after a year or two, this is the basic things every organization is wanting that. Because if your mindset is not working in an agile thing, that is something might be you're not working or fitting in that particular team who are already built up as an agile, right? Okay. So that's what that brings up more importance. Okay. So we'll talk about Trello, we'll talk about the Azure DevOps. Might be you heard that term DevOps. DevOps is a tool which made by Microsoft. Okay. So that is a free tool. So there are many new startups basically, or not the bigger organizations are using the Azure DevOps, because it is comes out with the Microsoft Office itself. I just need the if I have the license of Microsoft Office, I can use the ADU with a smaller cost. Okay. So that another tool just built up for managing the agile as well. Okay. Projects, implement agile in college project. That is the way to enter that. We'll try that. How will implement whichever the internal project, whichever the project you are working in your college, uh, working internally, you know, how we'll adopt agile inside that. We'll talk about, we'll do one-to-one session if possible, right? We'll think about, talk about in detail how we'll bring up agile into that, so that you will showcase that as an experience as well in your resume. Okay. Join agile communities, LinkedIn group to understand. Always try to be on top, because it is not the thing which is already written years ago. Okay. Because it is adapting as well year by year. All right. It is not that something is written 20, 25 years ago and we are just following. It's not. Every year it is adopting that, whatever the new ways or the new problem areas identified within the organization, they try to adapt it. Okay. Might be this is a new problem. Let me try to find a solution as an org, and let me try to implement that in the agile book as well. So that new organization or the other organization, if they are feeling that same problem somewhere down the line in their working software, they implement that. Okay. So it is, and even within the agile they are iterative. Okay. They are improving the system after a year. Okay. Now the last slide, this is the last deck. I'll not bore everyone out, because it is in deep dive session as well. If we'll plan another session for the deep dive even. Okay. So I'll just make it more interactive. It shouldn't be like that I'm just reading the deck and you'll be learning it. So we'll try to find out the way out, how it should be interactive, so that how everyone should be, uh, be ready for the interaction. We'll do small set of activities along the way, so that we'll learn as a team all together in Agile. Okay. So join Agile training programs. We'll try to apply that. We'll connect with industry professionals. Okay. And at last, definitely will stand out in the job market. That is a need. Everyone is, working as an, or teaching or learning as in course. Definitely they are looking for a job out there in the market, right? So they just need a good high and good package out. This will definitely will try to deep dive how you will get it out, how you will get more, whatever you are expecting it. Okay. How agile is benefiting your career as a thing. Okay. So that's the last deck, Manu. I'll just stop share my screen so that we'll get in questions around there.
Okay, so we'll be opening the session for questions. So before that, I will be asking you a very funny and a little bit silly question. So launching for you people, answer it quickly. What would be truly a agile student do when the assignment deadline changes? Will you cry into their notes? Will you email the professor? Will you replan, adapt, and keep moving? Or will you ignore it and keep doing what they were doing anyway? So, this was an amazing session, I would say. I have also learned a lot. So, what is your answer for this one? All right. Well, very good answers. And the correct answer is replan, adapt, and keep moving. And we have got 95% of answers for this one. Very good. So I think that everybody was very quite attentive throughout the session and it was amazing for you all, right? Please drop up your yes in the chat box. Okay. And while Sir was talking about the agile, we had a lot of questions. So I would like to talk about few questions that was in the chat box, that how would we become agile business analyst? That is asked by Akash Kumar.
All right. Thanks for the question. Hi, Akash. So jumping on, to the agile business analyst, because this is a specific designation which I talked about in the deck as well. If I'll talk about the initial stage, which is Scrum Master, business analyst is in traditional system, business analyst named as in project manager. Okay, in simple terms. The old traditional says I am working as a project manager, but the new traditional system, the new way of working, agile way of working says, okay, I don't need a project manager anymore. I need a business analyst. Business analyst means they know agile, they are certified. Okay, so there is a specific certification for the business analyst within the agile, right? So once you get the certified, the certification, there are different bodies out. I explained that one of the more important is the SE Agile. So I didn't show the pie chart. I right away show that to you so that you will be all aware. Okay, what are the certification? How Agile is moving, right? Even you will be working as a human resource, Agile manager, right? So there are some certification which will help you out, even in the Agile. I'll just showcase that to you at the end. Okay. So I hope that will answer it. Do anyone have any other question? I'm able to read that. What are the scope for non-tech background people to be hired as an agile professional, right? Nice question. Thanks for asking that. So this is a specific role. Even you don't need any kind of skill, professional or the technical one, right? So many of it even question that, okay, what is the matter that I spent 3 years in learning my complete Python, Java languages? What is the use of it then? We are not saying no, you can't use it. We are saying there are many organizations who are playing multiple roles within them, right? So might be you are working as a technical lead, the architect, along with that Scrum Master role. Okay, you're playing multiple roles as well within the organization. Even Infosys, which I got to know as well, you already heard the name of Infosys, right? So Infosys doesn't have a specific Scrum role. They just want that the Scrum Master's responsibility to be known by every individual, so they know what are the duties, they know how to manage it. So every developer should be able to play those small responsibility of a Scrum whenever there is a need. Okay. Even the business analyst, the last role which says they just want that business analyst to be played both roles together, as in Scrum role, as an agile, or business analyst role as well. So you don't need the technical skill to be in that role, but yes, that skill definitely help you. We are not saying that it will not help you anymore. Okay. Whenever you are working in any organization, definitely you are working for the software, you are working for the application, right? So that itself contain code. All right. So whenever you are leading the team as in Scrum, because that's what I said, that there is no leader, but Scrum Master, the core responsibility of a Scrum Master, that he'll be acting as a servant leader. Servant leader means that at the back, he'll be acting as a leader, but he'll be closely working with the team all together, okay, to verify, to check it. Nothing blocks them. I am stood for my team. I am not a professional, project manager, which I'll just shout at the team that, okay, why you are not able to complete that? It is not that responsibility of, new business analyst, new agile rules. Says. As in Scrum Master, I have to ensure if you are blocked, let's suppose as a team, we are not able to complete that thing on time. As a team, let's try to sit together, plan it, why we are not able to do that. What are the new improvements we can adapt it right away so that we'll check it out in the future. We'll not be getting delayed next time, right? So this is another opportunity Scrum Masters or these roles introduced. So there is no bullying out there, right? I'm not blaming anyone because of that X person because he is new. We failed. It is not like that. If we failed as a team. If we pass as a team. No one can
There's
blame any one of it. Okay.
right, right. Thank you, sir. Sir, there is another question by Darpan. As a student, what's the best way to practice agile when we don't have real stakeholders or customers?
Can you
He
can you
asked
repeat?
between the session only. As a student,
Okay. Okay.
what's the best way to practice agile when we don't have real stakeholders or customers?
That's something, even when we thought about to bring agile in the education, you know, I at least I know that I had a word with Lavira sir in 2020, right? With the same concept when I just want that agile thing to be implemented right away with the LPU. Then I just spent another 2, 3 years because COVID hits. Then I analyze, okay, how it bring. I I didn't have that exact answers, but definitely, those new roles to be introduced whenever you are working in any of the internal project, that faculty members whoever you're working with have to play those roles out. Okay. Let's suppose you are working as a team. You're not working as a single project, right? So let's suppose you're working as a team with 5 people out there, right? 5 team members are there who are working remotely in different set of locations. And those 5 people have to play those roles out. Otherwise, you can't have that. Let's suppose someone will be acting as a business analyst who want to grow as an analyst, right? If someone is, you know, wanting their career to be as a Scrum Master or Scrum developer, will try to bring that responsibility to that particular guy. Okay, let's be act as a Scrum Master, act as a developer, so that we'll try run that. We'll try to evaluate how it works. Okay, so there is no perfect solution written somewhere in the book that okay, this is how it brings on, but we'll try to adapt it and try to be adaptive, be transparent, be iterative. We learn together as a team, right? So that's how we'll try to make sure that within the same project, within the internal project, whichever you're doing, you have surrounded with those people who at least have that experience. So
Right,
let's suppose if I'm here, I'm acting as a Scrum Master. I'll definitely look out for some other people out there in my industry who will be might be acting as a business analyst. Will be in the call. We'll try to explain you the requirement, how that requirement will work. Based on your input, this is how it works, right? So we'll demo that.
right. There's another student, Naban Kush. He mentioned during the masterclass that should we learn all the tools or we can learn only agile?
Uh, you don't have to learn agile, first of all. Okay. We are not saying that you have to learn or cram anything. We just here to shift your mindset. Whatever the traditional approach, whatever the day-to-day work you're doing, let's try to work in an agile. Let's suppose you're planning a trip out there. Planning a trip is simple, right? With your family, are you planning a trip? Let's try to plan a trip as per the agile. How agile brings up the new things. what are the important parameters. Might be you're already doing that some or the other way, but you're not naming it as an agile, right? We're just introducing these terms so that you'll be familiar whenever you're gonna join any of the organization. You're not shocked, okay, I didn't heard that these are the new terms, how I can survive. So these are the new, you know, fear which we are hearing from any of the new college pass out whenever they join the project. Okay.
So I would like to make an announcement again. Students, if you have questions, this is the right time to ask. So you have to drop up your questions as quick as possible. So whatever your question, Bablu Kumar has raised hand. See,
Mhm.
you have to drop up your question here only. You will not be allowed to speak in this masterclass. Okay. Amita has a question. How's this agile help if we want to start a career as data scientist?
So there are multiple certification as well, even for getting that whatever, that's what I'm saying, that whatever the role you're gonna join, either you will join as a data analyst, either you will join as an AI developer, whichever the thing or whichever the role you're gonna join, at least that basic Scrum principles, the basic Scrum certification which says that CSM or the IC Agile, which I'll showcase that to you, have the basic certification which just talk about the Agile fundamentals, right? That certification at least to be mandate for everyone, whichever the role you're gonna join. Okay. So that brings up the idea you have to open your mindset, the way of working, change the way of working, right? So that whenever you're gonna join any of the organization, you'll be familiar with those things, right? So even in the course, as the best example, even in the course, while studying on, after graduating, before the graduation, right? You'll study many subjects out there. Okay. Even in your MCA, if you're doing that, even in your BTech, even in your MBA, you're doing multiple course. So one question, that why you're doing multiple course if you're just focusing on one thing, how that other languages, benefiting you, because you never know what are the things or the other organization, whichever the organization you're gonna join, brings up things to you. That's the way, how the courses are designed, right? So we are not focusing on any C language or Java language or PHP or Python or any other. So the curriculum says, okay, let's try to learn all those basic fundamentals for these languages. So at least whenever you're gonna join, you should know the basics. If you know the basics, definitely you go to the advanced level, right? Right? That's the idea.
Okay, an opportunity for you people to ask direct question. If you want, I can unmute you and you can ask a question directly to the sir. Anyone would like to raise a hand? Right. Okay, Bablu Kumar, I'm allowing you to speak.
Hi, Bablu. You can unmute yourself and say that. I think you're joined. Just unmute your mic. I think he's not able to unmute that. Does he have that access to unmute? Or hi, Bablu. If you can hear us, just unmute your mic and say that. I think he's not able to unmute that. Might be you can type it. I
Okay,
just
so you can type the question, Bablu. I think you're not able to unmute the mic. So we have Vineet Sharma. Vineet, unmute yourself and ask the question. Okay.
I don't know whether they're able to speak it or not, right? So I just
With
read the question as well for Vinit Sharma. He typed it as well in the chat box.
Okay. Yeah,
I
he mentioned I need to know as a fresher in IT doing MCA, AI, or ML, but having corporate experience in marketing and sales, what would be the roadmap?
so I think there are few things which are mixed up in the question, right? So I'm not fully getting that, but if you already know as in fresher in IT, which is doing MC and AIML, but are you experienced in mastering marketing and sales? What is the actual thing you're doing? Are you doing MBA? Are you planning? Are you getting that question, Manu? Sorry, I didn't get that. What that exact question is.
Vineet, can you just be clear with the question because I'm not able to understand the question. I need to know as a fresher in IT doing MCA. Okay, he has an experience in the corporate, and right now he's doing MCA, AI ML.
Mhm.
So he
I think
wanted to know,
experience. Okay, he already have experience in marketing and sales, right?
right, marketing and sales. So he wanted to know if he's doing right now a MCA, AI ML. So how it is going to be helpful in terms of agile, how the agile is going to help him.
So that's what I said, that even whatever the course you already have, it doesn't matter that whether you already doing that MCA, you are doing the BBA, you are doing the MBA, or you are doing the BTech, right? The agile will definitely help your career as well if you at least know the fundamentals of agile, right? Because whichever the organization, whether you join as in marketing, if you're already working as in marketing and sales, I don't know whether which organization you already work with, right? So if I'll talk about marketing and sales, I know one person who is working with Bridgestone, right? That Bridgestone you already named as. It is a Japanese organization, right? So Bridgestone is the one because it is Japanese. They are following agile from years, decade, I can say, because agile terms introduced by Japanese. Okay, if you didn't know that, agile terms introduced by Japanese people and they are adopting by other countries afterwards. Okay, so in marketing and sales, even we have different courses for management who are specific to agile, which talked about the fundamentals, right? Which are used, which different case studies, which are specific to marketing, how it help them, how it will bring, the more kind of different roles in the corporate, right? So it is not about the MC only. So that's what I think all of them are questioning about the certification. So one thing, even if many of them already, working as students, you know, doing some courses out with the LPU, the one question I asked, that why you feel certification is mandatory? Do you feel certification is mandatory or knowledge is required? Or knowledge is mandatory? Which is important for you? Knowledge or certification? Because both are different things. Getting the certification is too easy. But the thing is how you will get the experience out. That's what more important is right now, which we'll talk about. Getting the certification is 2 or 3 day jobs, right? But how you will get the experience out, how you will learn, how you will live with agile at least for a quarter, right? At least for a half year or 6 months or one semester, how that brings up more clarity. That's what the question is all about. Okay, getting this certification is not difficult. Anyone can get that certification in next 2 3 days. That's not impossible. Anyone can apply that, pay the course fee, pay the certification cost fee to the organization, get that certified. Okay? But the thing is, what about next? But after getting the certification? Do we have experience? Can I crack the interview? If someone is asking me some questions about agile, can I answer that? That's what the thing is. Okay.
Okay, so I think all the questions has been answered. So I would like to thank you, sir. Thank you so much from the behalf of Center for Distance and Online Education. We would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to all the participants and their enthusiastic involvement and active engagement throughout the session. Your presence and contribution has greatly enriched the experience. And first of all, I would like to take the moment to take a special note of thanks to Mr. Kewal Krishna Kapoor. So, your knowledge about the agile has literally made me to think about that I should also go for this certification, and I'm really curious to know more about agile and looking forward to have more such sessions which can make our students understand how it can groove them in terms of being more innovative, adaptive, and learning more of the interesting things that can make them more work friendly. And your insightful inputs, expertise, and generous sharing of all about this agile has made us truly have an impactful masterclass. We thank you once again for making this event, this session, this masterclass a success. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot, Manu. Just last thing before ending that, I just want to share, as I promised,
Right.
one pie chart for Agile so that everyone knows, because there are lots of questions from everyone. Okay, what are those certification costs, right? What are
Sure.
those? I'm hoping that everyone is able to see that screen, right? So if I'll a little bit zoom it for you guys, are you able to see?
Sir, will that be okay? You can share it with me so I can share with the students directly.
Yeah, sure.
So, because here the font is not so much readable, so that will be challenge for them as well.
Okay, if I'll zoom it a little bit, can you see that now? Or can you see that even?
Yes.
All right. So if you're able to see that within the framework, there is an IC Agile certification body, right? So on the left panel, there is an organization enablement which says, okay, if you're targeting finance, there's some certification. If you're talking about marketing sales, these are the certification, right? There's a basic one. If you're talking about the human resource, these are the basic certification, right? So last certification is the expert one. First one is the basic one. For the DevOps, who are, all of these certification are basically for all of the developer. So if you heard about, this is the basic term which lies everyone, that is stands as an ICP. As Agile fundamental is there for every other category. Either you are part of a DevOps, delivery management, project management, Agile testing, Agile engineering, right? And if we'll go up, that is a leading change, which says, okay, system coaching. If you'll, want to build your career as an Agile one, then these are the certifications which are specifically for you. So this is ICP AEND, which I talked about. This is the ICP ACC, which I talked about, right? And in my certification part, right? So this is basically that states, if you want to build your career as an agile, so these are the certification made for you. But if you're going to join any of the organization, which I'll talk about, the finance, marketing, the HR, all the DevOps or agile engineering, these are the certification which are built for you. Okay. Definitely I'll share that the pie complete pie. This is built by the IC Agile body. Okay, so this is a third party which are just build the certification, redesign the courses every year, redefine that, talked about, it I think it already have many clients out there. If you uh go to that, let me about member organizations. Okay, so these are the organizations which they already tied up with. Okay, I don't know whether you heard these new names out there. Scrum, Kanban is different organization who are dealing with. C Prime, there are many of it. Vodafone is there. The Agile Coach, Agile Shops.
So while you're sharing this, there is a one student who has asked a question. I'm working as a functional consultant and I use agile methodologies in a ERP, but I'm not certified in agile. So which one certification I should choose? Is PMP will help or not?
This is a very nice question. PMP is definitely for the project management, right? So PMP doesn't redefine himself in terms of agile. If you are even looking for PMP, PMP is too costly certified, right? It is, I think, costing you around 50 to 60,000 for just, paying the certification cost, right? So even that's what I show that pie chart to you. If you're looking for any of the management certification, just choose any one of it, right? From these category out. The project manager, right? Let me zoom it a bit so that you can see that. Here you can see agile product ownership. Then the ICP PDM is the product management. So this is the right certificate, but you have to be in that, the same cycle sequence, right? So at least you should be ICP agile fundamental clears, then only you will be applicable for the ICP PDM. So that my recommendation is instead of choosing to the PMP, because that is a traditional one, if you're gonna join the organization, every other employee in that organization is PMP certified, right? But PMP doesn't help the new way of working. This is a traditional approach, how it works. But if you want to jump out of the new way of working, definitely you'll be adapting that PDM instead of PMP. Okay. So the IP PDM is the right one. Okay. All right. I'm hoping that I'm answering that.
Okay,
That's
sir.
that's it.
So, some students want your LinkedIn account also. They would like to do the networking. So, if it possible,
Let
you
me
can share.
let me bring that link in the chat. Right.
Right.
Right. Just give me a second. Okay, I just pasted that in the chat. Okay.
Thank you
Just
so much, sir, once again, because you have shared a lot of things with them. And I'm definitely sure that they will be coming for the next session. And let's keep it as surprise for them that when they will be having the another kind of sessions or masterclass with them. Okay, so thank you so much, students. Thank you so much, sir, once again.
all right. And thank you everyone for joining that and listening. Thanks. Bye.